Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Let's go. Let's go. Dubs in the chat, baby. Dubs in the chat. Let's go. Hey, man, I got one thing I got to show y'all tonight. One thing I got to show y'all. This is what we did to the sun tonight, right here. This thing right here. We put that belt out tonight. Period. That's what we supposed to do. And I know people are going to say, well, why are you so excited? The Sun, you know, they've only won 8 games. Because we're supposed to win these games. Every game from here on out, we need to win. Every single dub that we get from here on out, I'm celebrating. I don't care what their record is. You know, and ultimately for me, that's how we're supposed to look against a team like this. At this point in the season, I want us to perform how we're supposed to perform against certain teams. You know, I would have been scared if the game was too close, you know, because of course, any given night you can get beat. But at some point in the season, you have to assert your dominance on certain teams. Like there's certain teams, like there's a gap between us for a reason. There's a reason why we won the amount of games we won. And there's a reason why they don't have 10 wins at all. So you have to start looking like the better team against the teams like this now. So, hey, yes, we were supposed to win. You know, but I like the way that we won tonight. I like that we were dominant. I like that I wasn't stressed out tonight. You know, like this might be one of the first games where our bench got in, you know, well, some of our bench got in a little earlier. Now, Carl did have some of our starters in a little too late tonight. It was making me a little nervous, you know, but I understand he's probably like, I want to make sure we win this game, you know, because freak accidents and freak crazy stuff happens. So he's probably like, let's make sure we win this game. So I kind of understand that. But, you know, I'm a little like, you know, let's try to rest the starters where we can because we have a crazy tough stretch coming up. Yeah, you know, we play Indiana at home in our next game, but then we have a 4-game road stretch that we have to go through. The Sparks don't scare me, but the Aces, we haven't beat them this season. We got to go play them on the road. So we want to get as much rest as we can. We want to get our starters as much rest as we can to get prepared for Indiana, the Aces, and then just going on the road in general. Like your body, you know, these are still human beings. You know, you're coming from the East Coast, and you're going to the West Coast. There's a time change, and I know there has to be some kind of jet lag and stuff that's going on. So you want to get your players as much rest as possible before we go on this road trip. Because again, like I said, we need to try to win as many games as possible. Indiana and the Aces are the next 2, you know, coming up that we really need to try to win because those are the types of teams where we want to make a statement. You know, we've already beat Indiana twice, but we want to make sure that we have that lead against them in case we have a tie. You know what I mean? Like we want to be able to win the tiebreaker, you know, if we have the same record. And then with the Aces, man, that's just one of those things where you just want to beat the Aces. You want to beat the teams that are contenders. You know, if you see yourself as a contender, you want to try to beat the contending teams. And you're supposed to beat these teams that we like. The Sun, you're supposed, at this point in the season, you're supposed to beat them. We are. We're the better team. We should beat them. So, and nothing makes me more mad than losing the teams that we're supposed to beat. But that's why I'm excited. I mean, it's a game, and I'm not going to get too high. I'm not going to get too low. But when you're supposed to win a game, like, win the game in a dominant fashion, like we did tonight. That's what we were supposed to do. They're the worst team in the league for a reason. They have the worst record in the league for a reason. And, yeah, we supposed to put that belt on them like we did. I was just waiting for us to be able to do that because I feel like sometimes we play with our food too much. Sometimes we play with these teams that we're not supposed to be playing with. And it's okay. Like, we are the better team by far. You know, they'll get there. You know, and I don't know what their game plan is. They probably tanking for Juju, which is not a bad choice. That's not a bad thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they probably like, okay, cool, whatever. Like, we can Juju next year. And they moving to Houston. So I'm pretty sure their team's going to look completely different next year. But this year, for what they have right now, we got the better team. And it is what it is. You know, the crazy thing to me tonight was the way we won. You would have thought that we had a really balanced, you know, scoring output from our players. But y'all, we only had 2 players in double figures. Isn't that crazy? is like the way that we won, you would have thought, okay, we have 4 players in double figures, 5, maybe even 6. We had 2. We had Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray. They combined for 58 points, 29 points each. And no one else had double figures. I just found that to be a really interesting stat, especially with the way that we won. Now, granted, both of them shot lights out. I don't know what Ryan Howard was on tonight, but she was 70% from the field. She made 5 threes. She made 10 out of 11 free throws. So 3 steals, a block. Yeah, like I need Ryan Howard to keep playing like this. And I know like it's almost impossible to shoot this well from 3 every single game. But I will say I did like the way she was being aggressive tonight. So the 3-pointers, cool, 5 out of 8. I'm not mad at her taking 8 threes, cool. But the part that really made me like, okay, cool, is she went to the line a lot. So she went to the line, she shot 11 free throw attempts. So that lets me know that she was being aggressive, right? And then you had Alicia Gray, she shot 10 free throws. So not only were they efficient from the field, but they also combined to shoot 21 free throws, and they made, let me see, they made 19 out of 21 just between those two. So that's 19 points just off of free throws for both of them. So for me, you know, if you're going to shoot your threes, but I did like the fact that we were being aggressive tonight. I like the fact that we were playing an inside out game. And Angel Reese, man, 15 rebounds. You know, this wasn't her most efficient night tonight. I mean, but she was going up against BG. Ain't she like 5'9"? I mean, I'm sorry, 6'9" or something like that, whatever. But Angel Reese is a dog, you know what I mean? Like, to me, like, her blocking BG shot twice and then yanking the ball from her, I was like, I mean, like, stuff like that. It's stuff like that. Like, your field goal percentage, like I always say, it's going to go up and down sometimes. But your effort, like I always say, Angel Reese is never going to cheat you on effort. You're never going to have to worry about if she played as hard as she could, because she always is going to play as hard as she can. And for that alone, like, I'm cool. I'm going to live with whatever else you do because you gave everything you had, you know, and that's why I like Angel Reese. She's always going to give you effort. She's never going to cheat you on effort. And so shout out to her for that. And like, I'm gonna have to go replay and watch those blocks, double back-to-back blocks on BG and the rip away. Like, I'm gonna have to watch that again. That was crazy. So shout out to her. And then 3 steals, y'all, 3 steals and 4 blocks for Angel Reese. Man, 3 steals and 4 blocks. Ryan Howard, 3 steals. Man, they're playing great defense. So defensively, I feel like our defense is really, really locked in. We've been super locked in. I'm trying to see what else kind of stood out to me. Okot got to play 16 minutes. 7 rebounds for her. Sherrod played 11 minutes. Borlay's 11 minutes. Aaliyah Nye. Remember I told y'all about Aaliyah Nye. Aaliyah Nye came in for 7 minutes and got 6 points. She made 1 3, got fouled on another, made all her free throws. That's all I'm saying. She's a sniper. So if they ever just want to play some inside out type of situation and just have her in shooting, man, that was my vision. But maybe there's a reason why. Maybe she's a liability on defense, or maybe she's a liability in other parts of the, you know, the offense that I don't know about. Maybe the coach knows about, which is why her minutes are limited. But I always just wanted to see her play more because I feel like she is a weapon on that 3-point line. You know, to me, she's one of the better shooters on our team, and she's a sniper. She is definitely a sniper. But man, overall, good game for us. You know, we did what we were supposed to do. You know, at this point, this is the expectation when you play a team like this. You're expected. I'm expecting us to win by 15 plus points when you play a team like this. So we did what we were supposed to do. We handled business. Man, and then I looked at the Sun. They only had 1 person in double figures. No, I'm sorry. They had 2 people. Neekins had double figures. Yeah, they're going to blow that team up next year. That's Juju's team, you know. I mean, at this point, it's between them and Seattle who probably going to tank for Juju the most. I actually wouldn't mind seeing her go to Seattle. I think that would actually be crazy because they're going to have to blow this team up if they're going to bring Juju on this team. But anyways, I'll make another video about that because I do want to talk about some of these college prospects that are coming into the WNBA next year, because y'all, this is a deep class. It's a very, very deep class, and I'm interested to see where people are going to end up. Let's see. So I'm going to give the game ball to, I'm just going to give the game, man, I guess I'm going to give it to Ryan Howard. I'm going to give it to Ryan Howard. You know what I'm saying? I would say Alicia Gray as well, because they had pretty much identical stats. But the reason I'm going to give it to Ryan Howard is because she went through a tough stretch, and she's been consistently bouncing back for the last few games. So I'm going to give her the game ball tonight, because I feel like she played a complete game and she's been putting these pieces together. And I think she's out of the slump. We'll see. The real test is going to be on Sunday, and like I said, against the Aces. So we'll see when we play those teams what happens. But yeah, she's going to get the game ball for me. Also, shout out to Alicia Gray too. She had a really, really good game. Shout out to our team, you know. Good win. We handled business on the team we were supposed to handle business on. That just is what it is. I'm not going to get too high or too low, but like I said, anytime we get a dub, I'm putting dubs in the chat, period. You know what I mean? Whether it's whoever, I don't care who it is, you know, because at this point in the season, we need all the dubs we can get. The standings and the race to the playoffs is tight. We are in a very tight race. And so every win matters from here on out. Every loss matters, you know, and so we need to try to separate and create some space between us and some of these other teams. So that's why I'm saying, like, yes, I'm celebrating the fact that we have a W in the chat, in the W column. That's what I'm celebrating. So that's that on that. Like I said, there's a couple of things that I did want to point out. Number one, prayers up to Brianna Jones. Oh, please do not let this be anything serious. I'm hoping it was just precautionary that they're holding her out. I don't even mind them holding her out for however long so she can get healthy. And hopefully between, you know, if she's going to be held out in the next few games, and then maybe during that FIBA time, she'll be ready for the last part of the season and the playoffs. But ultimately, I just hope she's ready for the playoffs, you know, hopefully before then, but I don't want her to make anything worse, you know, so I hope that she takes her time to recover before she comes back. I don't want her to rush back, because I know, like, she had a really significant injury that she's coming off of, and I don't know if it has anything to do with that or if it's something different. But like I said, I hope that this was just a precautionary situation that they're holding her out of the game for, and that, you know, she will be back sooner than later. But prayers up to her. I hope she's all right. Secondly, this matters for us down the road. But I saw that the Liberty announced that Satu Sabli is stepping away from basketball indefinitely, I believe. I don't think she has a timetable to return. And I think from what I saw, it had something to do with some head injuries that she had. I'm not really sure. Don't quote me on it, but I did see something about that. But I do know that she's not going to be playing anytime soon. I don't know if that means for the rest of the season. I have no idea, but we do play the Liberty twice in this last stretch before the playoffs. And so that's going to make their team look different. But regardless if she was playing or not, we need to get that dub. All the dubs we can get. But obviously, you know, they're a better team with Satu Sabli. Any team's going to be better when you have Satu Sabli. But I'm not saying they don't have anyone that can step up in her place. It's still Brianna Stewart. It's still Sabrina Ionescu. And so we'll see how that ends up playing out. But regardless, we need to try to get those dubs, you know. And I know she killed us the last time she played us, so I don't wish injury on anybody. So we just have to stay tuned to see if she's going to end up playing, you know, when it's time for us to play them again. But yeah, overall, guys, I don't have too much tonight. I mean, it was just one of those nights where we did what we were supposed to do. We came to work, put on our boots, and we did what we were supposed to do. Wasn't stressful, you know. Blood pressure wasn't up. Thank you. I appreciate that. But like I said, we have the Fever, the Aces. Those are two tests I'm gonna be watching closely. Those are the ones I'm gonna be looking at closely because those are the ones we gotta really try to get. So we got those, and then we have, I think we have the Mercury, and we have, hold on, we got the road trip is the Aces, the Mercury, and then we play the Sparks twice. And so to me, we need to try to beat the Sparks. The Sparks, that should be 2 dubs. I'm sorry. It is what it is. It's supposed to be, we need to beat the Sparks, even though they actually been playing some pretty good ball lately. So I'm not going to sit here and just act like we don't need to show up. We need to play intensely the way we played tonight, you know, and I think we'll have a good chance to win those games. And then the Mercury, we've pretty much had their number all season. I think we have a good chance against them too. So we'll see. But like I said, the tests are really going to be the Fever and the Aces. So we'll see how we perform against those teams. I think that's all I have for tonight, you guys. Let me know how y'all feeling. How are we feeling about the way that we're looking right now at this point in the season? And how y'all feeling about us in these next 6 games? 5 games? Like what do y'all think what do y'all think our record is gonna be? Do you think we're gonna beat the Aces, the Fever? Are we gonna beat, you know, the Sparks, the Mercury? Like, how y'all feel? How do y'all think we're gonna perform on this road trip? And yeah, I'm just interested to hear y'all's thoughts. You know, I want to know how my fellow Dream fans are feeling right now. If I can be honest. Oh, there was something else I wanted to tell y'all real quick before I leave, before I go. So the next thing that I want to say, because I saw this on, I think I saw this on Threads. And I wanted to bring this up because I thought this was really interesting. And so this is according to FanDuel. According to FanDuel, the WNBA title odds, they have the Dream at number 3. And listen to who they have them above. They have them above the Liberty, and they have them above the Valkyrie, which is so interesting because those are 2 teams we haven't beat yet. So, and I don't think we play the Valkyrie again. But I think that's really interesting that FanDuel has the Dream all the way up right beneath the Aces. So we'll see, you know, we'll see how this pans out. But yeah, I mean, I believe in our team. I do believe in our team. But like I said, I'm going to be watching these last few games very closely because I want to see how we measure up against the teams, like the contending teams. But I thought that was really interesting that they had us above the other teams. Hey, I'll take it. You know what I mean? Those are the odds makers. So there has to be a reason why they think that we're going to do that. And I think a lot of it is because of our defense and also the losses. A couple of the losses we had to the Valkyries were very close losses. It wasn't like one game we got blowed out, but a couple of them were really close losses. So I do think we could beat the Valkyries. I do believe that. But and now with the Liberty and the news with Satu, I do think that kind of puts us above them too. So I guess I could see how they came to that conclusion. But again, none of that matters. We still got to come out there and do what we're supposed to do. But yeah, that's all I got. We have another game on Sunday. I might be at that game, so stay tuned. We'll see. But if not, I'll be making a video either way, but y'all probably get it a lot sooner if I don't end up going to the game. But we'll end up seeing what happens with that. But until next time, I hope you guys have an amazing night and a beautiful weekend, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.